Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and it's a pleasure to follow the Honourable Lady and hear the detailed update on the work of the IPU. As we head back to our constituencies this evening, we'll reflect, no doubt, on an extremely challenging period for our country and for our constituencies as well. And I want to put on record my thanks and admiration for the key workers and also the community groups in my constituency that have pulled together in an incredibly impressive way to get us through these difficult times. But I do want to focus today on an area where I feel the government has failed and is letting our country down, and that is specifically around the manufacturing sector, where we know that a recovery for our manufacturing sector is going to be absolutely crucial for the post-pandemic economy that we wish to build. And specifically within that, I want to focus on the very backbone of our manufacturing sector, which is the steel industry. Madam Deputy Speaker, there are 4,000 highly skilled and relatively well-paid jobs at the Port Talbot Steelworks in my Aberavon constituency, but they have been badly let down. For a decade now, successive Conservative governments seem to see steelmaking as metal bashing. They seem to see it as a sunset industry. It is not. It is at the cutting edge of so many of the important manufacturing innovations, but for both our past and future. And steel is also central to the homes that we live in, the cars that we drive, the offices that we work in. It is crucial to Britain's defence, automotive and infrastructure sectors. And steel is also crucial for the green agenda, based on windmills are based on, wind turbines are based on steel, and many, many green technologies. And yet we've seen very little in terms of creating a supportive policy environment for the steel industry. We need fairer industrial energy prices. Why is it that our energy prices are 80% higher than our competitors in France and 60% higher than in Germany? We need an integrated government procurement strategy so that British steel is actually at the heart of infrastructure projects. We need to tackle extortionate business rates that punish investment in new plant and machinery. And we need the government to be much, much quicker in the urgent matter of providing urgent cash flow support to an industry that is in crisis because of the coronavirus. We need to see bespoke loan support. We need to see it urgently for the industry. Where is it? Why has it taken so long? Every day that goes by takes the steel industry deeper into this crisis. I also want to say a word about why this is so important to our sovereign capability, our national security. COVID-19 has shown the essential nature of having national supply chains that we can rely on. The UK has 229 product lines that are strategically dependent on China, of which 57 relate to our critical national infrastructure. We can no longer be too reliant on economies such as the Chinese, and also regimes where we have seen their disregard for the international rule of law. We also need to recognise that steel is a driver of jobs and employment. We talk about build, build, build. Well, we need to also say jobs, jobs, jobs. We know that nationwide, the UK steel industry employs 32,000 people, contributes 3.2 billion to mitigating our balance of trade deficit. It contributes 5.5 billion to the economy directly and through supply chains. And let's think about the cost of doing nothing. If God forbid, tragically, the steel industry were to be allowed to fall over by this government, imagine the cost of all of the relatively well-paid steel workers that would be put onto the social security system. Look at the capital expenditure cost of closing down a steelworks, closing down those iconic blast furnaces. It would cost the taxpayer billions. It's the definition of a false economy, and that's why the government must act, and must act now. That is also why I am supporting the amazing new union-led campaign, Britain, We Need Our Steel. And I congratulate Community Union and the GMB and Unite for this. I urge members across the House to sign up and support the campaign. But the unions must be properly consulted. It was very disappointing to read in the Sunday newspapers that apparently discussions are happening about transitioning away from a blast furnace-based model of steelmaking. That is simply not acceptable to be floating those kind of plans, having them leaked out into the press without proper consultation with the trade union, by the way, a trade union movement that has been the model of constructive engagement and modern 21st century trade union working. So that needs to stop. We need proper consultation, we need proper government support, and we need to see it now. Madam Deputy Speaker, we need a modern manufacturing renaissance in this country. We will not have a healthy post-pandemic economy unless we have a strong and healthy post-pandemic steel industry. This is a great and proud country. We're strong, modern, diverse and industrial. Our future relies on the steel we make here in the UK. From rail to electric cars, from wind turbines to hospital beds, from pots and pans to vans to baked bean cans. So the message today has to be clear. We need this urgently, and we need it now. Britain, we need our steel.